I'm throwing it back to 2020 when Overland gearless videos were all the rage on YouTube, a time when a steady stream of Amazon packages full of camping gear we wished we had time to use flowed to our doorsteps. It is no coincidence that I'm publishing this video today on Amazon Prime Day. If you didn't know, it is Prime Day, and if you were thinking, hey, didn't we just have a Prime Day in July? You're right, we did. Apparently we get 2 of these special, I don't know, consumer holidays a year. But here's the deal. I didn't make this list based off of what's on sale right now. This is real gear that I actually use and that I think you will too. So I've broken this list into categories, which you can find in the description as the following chapters. Chapter 1, tech, then tools, kitchen, hygiene, and finally comfort. Speaking of the description, there is a link in the description that will take you to my Amazon storefront where all of these products are listed. So let's get into it. Starting with tech. The first item on the list is this video sponsor, the Peak Design mobile ball mount, one of my favorite things that I have found in the last few years. Phone mounts, they're like everywhere, especially dash phone mounts. And it's easy to find a cheap, junky one at whatever checkout counter you're at, maybe like Target or Walmart or whatever. But finding one that can stand up to off-roading is, or was, a challenge. Because with this mount, well, all of that's behind us. What makes it unique is that it is a ball end, so it can integrate with the 67 Design's rails and arms, and the phone is held in place with this locking mechanism and magnets. So it's like really super secure. And I'm serious when I say like this thing is secure. Peak Design has been a sponsor of the channel for a year, and it is purely because I am such a fan of everything they make, especially these mounts. So do yourself a favor, pick one of these up before your next adventure. Next, we're gonna talk about portable power stations. Did I make that look pretty? I think it can all go this way. That's yeah. How's that? Did I do it? So portable power stations are as common as carrying extra fuel, and if you still need to pick one of these up, well, these are some of my current favorites. My first favorite is the Anker Solix C1000. This has become my go-to. It is compact, capable, and considering all of its features, well, it's pretty easy on the budget. The real reason, though, that I love this is that it's small for everything that it does. At just over 1,000 watt hours, it is perfect for a multi-day trip running my Starlink or charging my camera and laptop batteries, and even powering my shower. But look, portable power stations, they're everywhere. And since Anker Solix is not a channel sponsor anymore, I want to showcase a few of my other recommendations without the restriction of, contracts. So, Jackery recently sent me, here I'm gonna move this, their V2 of the Explorer 1000. This is actually my first Jackery that I've used in a very long time. And they have come a long way since I used one back in, I want to say it was around 2020 when I did the Pony Express. So the form factor is finally worth it. No more stupid handle on top. It has this nice collapsible one. It now has rapid charge, and the light is no longer halogen. Ta-da! But I think I still prefer the light bar that's on the Anker Solix to this spotlight on the Jackery. My issue with it, which may not bother you, is that it only has one USB-A port. And being that this is the most expensive of the 3 batteries that I'm showing off today, it's kind of a letdown. 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB-A. So, all right, let's get this sucker out of the way. I need to do like a full rundown on all 3 of these. So if that's what you want, let me know in the comments. Okay, the third option is what I would say is the budget option. I'm no stranger to videos with the keyword Amazon in the title, which draw a budget-conscious crowd. So meet the Bluetti AC180. Like the other 2, it has a roughly 1,000 watt-hour battery with fast charging and a mostly packable form factor. It is larger and heavier than the other 2. And to be truthful, I have had hit and miss success with Bluetti reliability in the past, but I've had this one since its launch, and I can say that it's still kicking. Some reasons to avoid it, because You know, it is the cheapest one, so there will be some caveats. But some reasons to avoid it are that it doesn't have a light like the others. I've actually really come to like the light bar on the front of the Anker Solix, so that is actually a downside nowadays. A few years ago, I would have been like, it's a gimmick. Anyways, and this only has one USB-C port. And it's also the loudest, so it has the loudest fan of all three, but it does have wireless charging on top, which the others don't, so that might pique your interest. All three will serve you well, no matter your choice, but I am sticking with the Anker C1000. I really like this one. Okay, moving on. Handheld GMRS. GMRS has quickly become the norm amongst the Overland community. It doesn't require a knowledge exam, and getting a license to use it is as easy as paying $15 and then getting an email with the all clear to transceive on GMRS frequencies. So, for around $25, and it fluctuates, that's why I say that, this Baofeng radio is worth grabbing. In fact, it's worth grabbing a few so you have a backup when traveling with friends who don't have a radio, or so you can toss it to a passenger should they need to, I don't know, jump out and spot you. But we don't get into technical trails, so why would that ever happen? But honestly, for a basic handheld radio, it's a must. Now, as a ham operator, I actually carry this radio in case I'm rolling with unlicensed ham users, and honestly, having GMRS on hand has nearly converted me from ham just for the convenience alone. If you are also a ham operator, consider the updated ham version of the Baofeng as well. It's compact, it's easy to use. In fact, I just got this one. You can see I get to peel the thing off together here. My neighbors are leaving. I'm filming in my garage. Could you tell I was filming in my garage? All right. Ooh, you happy we did that together? All right. Anyways, both of these are the updated Baofeng versions of a ham and GMRS. The ham says it has USB-C charging. I haven't been able to find it, but the GMRS does. It's built into the battery, which is another reason to get the GMRS, USB-C charging. Okay, let's shift gears just a little bit. A compact phone charger. Throughout my years of off-road car camping, I have realized one universal truth. Charging technology while in the wild can be a pain. USB ports are limited, cable management is a challenge, and keeping track of multiple charges throughout all of your boxes, bags, and various compartments is nearly impossible. So I pulled the trigger on a Belkin 3-in-1 wireless charger a few years ago, just because I wanted to consolidate all my charging, and it works great, but it just lays flat. So if that's something you're looking for, consider it. It will be amongst all the rest of the links. But about a year ago, I took the risk on this Chinese collapsible 3-in-1 charger, and what it does is it raises your phone up to take advantage of Apple's standby mode. It is the perfect rooftop tent, camper, or otherwise bedside companion. You get that easy to read red light clock thanks to Apple, because your phone can detect when the room is dark, and it gives you an easy to read clock that turns on with motion, so that's rad, but the phone has to be raised and in a horizontal position, which is what this MagSafe charger allows you to do. The other major benefit of a 3-in-1 charger like this one is that you can keep your headphones and watch topped off at the same time as your phone and use only one USB-C cable in the process. Seriously, I really do love this thing. There are 100 different versions. I'll link a few. But my wife uses the one I got her as her permanent charger on her nightstand. They really are great, and it's worked really well for us. Okay, let's really shift gears and talk about some Overland tech that some of you probably don't care about, and if you don't, you can just skip to the next section using the timestamps in the description. But cameras. So question, are you even overlanding if you don't film it? I know that's a joke, but I also don't talk enough about the cameras I use to do what I do. With camera technology progressing, a lot of the good stuff is much more accessible than ever, and for some reason, I have had an influx of comments asking about what camera equipment I use. So not a lot has changed since I published this video a year ago, so if you are really interested in camera gear, go check it out. All right, here's what has changed. This is the Osmo Pocket 3. It has become my go-to B-cam. I love it for just those external driving shots where it's on my hood and I have an app-enabled camera that I can control with my phone from inside the truck. And it's the coolest thing. It just makes me feel like I'm a one-man film crew with the shots that I can get. The Osmo Pocket 3 shoots high quality 4K video, and if you're big on vertical video, it does a stellar job at that too. Seriously, if you're just getting into video, buy this. This is the one camera every creator should be carrying. The added bonus of the creator kit combo, I think that's what they call it, creator kit, is that you can film with the camera outside of your vehicle and capture audio inside, because it comes with the DJI mic that I usually just clip to my seatbelt, which picks up audio, well, really easily, and it even grabs radio chatter. Now, I know all of this video is one big list of commission-generating items, but I'm serious when I say if you are starting a YouTube channel or even just making home videos for your adventures, this beginner camera, I genuinely recommend it. I really do. Okay? I use it. If you have been following the channel for a hot minute, you'll know that I have had a very rough relationship with GoPros. The good news is that this year I switched to the DJI Action 4, and boy oh boy, am I glad that I did. But even cooler is that since I adopted the Action 4, DJI has released an Action 5. The color profile on these is easy to match to the Pocket 3. The mounting solutions are stupid easy. I mean, just watch this. It has magnetic clips. Look at that. So you don't have to deal with the thumb screw all the time. And I don't think that the price is all that bad. So if you are shopping for action cameras or the Pocket 3 isn't entirely within your budget, I cannot recommend this little guy enough. I have two, obviously I keep showing them off, and I'm already considering adding a third, just for added angles. They're super easy to work with. I should have done this sooner. I'm so sorry. GoPro just might be dying, let's be honest. I know that this feels a little bit like a DJI fanboy video right now, but I promise we have more Overland goodies to explore. So to make it quick, this one is a twofer. One of my favorite things to do in recent videos is using the DJI Mic 2, which comes in this cute little box, to capture driving audio while I'm flying my drone. So I will mention the DJI Mavic 3 Classic here, as well as the microphones. I currently have the DJI Mavic 3, but if I were to do it again, I would get the Classic. The zoom modes look fantastic on the controller, but then when I put them into the edit, I hate them. They look like absolute garbage on a real screen. So save yourself a few bucks, get that micro 4/3 sensor, and then use the cash you saved to get the new DJI mics. The combo of these mics and this drone will give you that cinematic masterpiece you've been dreaming of. Or at least make hunting for music a thing of the past, because you'll have ambient audio to use instead. Now, the thing is, the video will not auto-sync the audio from the microphones to the drone, so I usually get the drone video rolling and then I slam my door and have a visual cue to pair with an audio cue, just like clapboards in Hollywood. For mic placement, I put one in the engine bay and then another one on the back of the truck just above the exhaust, and then I combine these two into, well, one sound in the edit. Something I'm going to change and I'm going to play with a little bit is maybe taking the one out of the engine bay and putting it closer to like the front wheel tire, just to get maybe some of that gravel sound. I'm playing with positions, but with these, it's super easy to do that. Nothing is hardwired. You can put them on, take them off super easy. The disadvantage is if you want to run through water or get some, wet sounds, this probably isn't the best choice. Okay, the DJI Fan Fest is over. Let's move on to tools. For all of you who skipped my tech section in anticipation of the real Overland stuff, here we go. Rule number one of off-road recoveries is to wear gloves. There are so many different gloves out there, and I'm certain that they are all great. I like these ones. My brother gave me these one year for my birthday, which yesterday was actually my birthday. And so these are a few years old, almost to the day, and I've gotten plenty of life out of them. The nice thing about these specific mechanics gloves is that they don't have a Velcro strap for your wrist. One reason to wear a glove is that it gets ripped off your hand instead of your flesh. A tight Velcro wrist strap, where's the, there we go, will prevent the glove from getting ripped off, and it could cause more damage than it does good. In fact, Joel, my off-road recovery instructor, cuts the Velcro straps off of his gloves. So I like these ones because, well, I don't have to do that. Beyond recoveries, carrying a pair of mechanics gloves is just a must for trail repairs, opening gates, picking up other people's trash, and just, I don't know, any other chore you'll find yourself involved in while on the trails or around camp, like gathering firewood. Now, this is usually where I would dedicate an entire segment to my waxed canvas wood carrying bag, but I will spare you a complete rundown and instead urge you to find it amongst the links in the description. Every time I put it in a video, it sells out, so be quick if you want to snag one. Speaking of fires, I love my fancy new howl. It's actually over there in the truck, but it's a propane fire pit. And sometimes you just need that classic wood burning campfire, and the Bigfoot Bushcraft ferro rod and fire starters are the best that I have used. The fire starters, which smell kind of like, I don't know, strawberry candies, they smell super good. Like, if you're not careful, a kid is gonna try and eat these because they smell so freaking delicious. I wish they were edible, honestly. Maybe I should eat one. I won't. That'd be gross. This isn't Steve-O's channel. Anyway, the fire starters, they're windproof and they will burn for a few minutes. The thing you gotta do, you just kind of take one here and you give it a little bit of love, and then you break it apart, and then it gets like super fuzzy, right? And then you just hit it with your ferro rod. And these are your best shot at building a fire without running through matches or lighting toilet paper to catch your kindling. I will never leave for a camping trip without these. They are always in my truck, always. The ferro rod is also a favorite. It makes me look way better than I am at striking fires. I love it so much that I even use it to start the fire on my howl. Smells like camp. Anyways, I mean, like really, just look. Oh, fire! You look really cool using it. All right, so there you go. What's another tool we could talk about? I'm curious your thoughts. Is it leather men or leather mans? I do not know, but I have way too many of them regardless. But don't tell my wife that I said that. I have this one that lives in my pocket. This is the Arc, and it's got pocket lint on it because I actually carry this with me everywhere. And then I have, hold on, the Surge, and this is the one that lives in my center console. Somewhere, I've also got the Micra. It's probably in my duffel bag. Which we'll talk about in a minute. Come here. Weird. It's tiny, so I guess it's easy to misplace. But we are all different, and we all have different needs when it comes to utility knives. And I've played with a few leathermans. That is always going to hang me up. Like Gerber and even Blackfire. But the Gerber one was actually pretty good. But I still keep returning to Leatherman. They have been doing it for so long that they have the mechanics of a pocket multi-tool, I think, just dialed in. And I rarely find myself fumbling with them when I need them most. Especially the Arc. I can use it one-handed and I just love it. So the link in my description, it just takes you to the Leatherman Amazon store. And you can pick up the one that, you know, fits you best. The thing I can say though, is get all of them. Don't. If the Arc is on there, get the Arc. Sometimes it's not on Amazon. Otherwise, I really like the Surge. So there you go. These are the two I carry with me. And this one's going back in my pocket, where it belongs. Okay. Speaking of Gerber, while their multi-tools are not my go-to, I do love their hand tools. This is the Gerber axe, which recently replaced my Fisker's 28-inch splitting axe, which I have had since the Tacoma. And that's actually the same axe that I had put on Orlando's Bronco. This new Gerber axe is light, yet powerful when I need it to be. And with the textile sheath, which I absolutely love, I don't have to get creative and like buy something off of Etsy to protect the front end of, well, the business side of this. Overall, it's a good axe. It mounts easily. It's got good shape. I like the little bend in it. It kind of helps when you know, you're just really getting after it. Solid axe, highly recommend it. But there is something even lighter, which brings me to the next item on the list, the little brother to the Gerber axe, the Gerber hatchet. It's basically a mini-me of the axe. It's the exact same form factor. And again, super easy to carry. This is always in my truck. That's why my truck's actually behind me, because most of this stuff I just had to get out of my truck to film it. Both the axe and the hatchet have this, come on, this little like, I don't know, storage system in the handle. I honestly don't use this, but I guess, I mean, if you really needed, it does have some extra paracord on it. You could probably stick a lighter in there, matches, flint, I don't know, Skittles. Well, whatever. To me, it's a bit of a gimmick. The real reason that I bring these is because of what happens up here on the business end, which features the sharp side and even a hammer. So if you got to do steaks or anything like that, you've got a hammer. Okay. Let's see. Taking wood and making it smaller. Oh, let's talk about the Silky Saw Big Boy. Here it is. Meet the Silky Saw Big Boy. This is as amazing as every YouTube comment has ever said it is. Thank you to my local lander community for recommending it. Yeah, this is just basically a giant switchblade saw. So you're not really limited on what you can cut through. The only limit is really just your endurance. But as the name suggests, it is silky smooth. Now, I get it. Why not carry a chainsaw? The biggest reason that I don't carry a chainsaw is that I have never had a handsaw run out of fuel or battery or break a link or need oil. The only problem that you'll run into is a dull or chipped blade, and with a little bit of extra effort, it will still do the job in a pinch, even with a defect. So that's honestly why I don't currently have a chainsaw, and they just take up so much space. Let's be real. Zoop. And I got a lot of crap I'm talking about, don't I? Okay, let's jump into the biggest section of this video, the kitchen section. Starting with the Omnia oven. Who bakes when they are camping? How is it even possible? Where's the zipper on this? That sounds like something my mom would do in their fifth wheel trailer. Well, the good news is, with the Omnia oven, you can finally bake cinnamon rolls, biscuits, bread, anything else. Shh, quiet. Can't you see I'm making a video here, lid? Anything else that requires a camp at oven, an oven at camp. Wow. I haven't done a pie yet, but I think I'd like to try it. So I was actually, man, I got bits and pieces falling out of this all over the place, don't I? That's the chunk that goes to the thermometer. Anyways, I was really skeptical of the Omnia oven at first. Basically because I didn't understand it, let's be honest. But I've brought it with me on every single camping trip because it fits almost anywhere. It's super easy to pack down. As you can see, kind of. Can you see what's on the table? You can, good. Anyways, but I've brought it with me on every single camping trip, and I actually really like it. My kit includes the EVA case, which is what this is. It's kind of a hard case. And then, like I was just kind of showing off there, I have a couple silicone trays actually. So one to help keep it clean, just a big donut shaped thing. And then I have this one that like pops out and makes muffins. Pretty cool. Both of those are non-stick, which makes it easy to clean up. And then I also have this little rack and the thermometer, which, well, you need for preheating. The thing I have found about the thermometer is that shaving maybe just a few, I don't know, maybe like 5 to 10% off the required cooking temperature helps get a better cook, because again, this isn't your oven at home. So let's say that it requires, I don't know, a preheat of 350 degrees. Set it to about 320 on this and then start cooking, and that'll work really well for you. Yeah, so kind of on this, if you are tired of the same old camp meals, this is the ticket to mixing it up. Honestly, it's cool. It brings a lot of variety to camping. I love it. Just like the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, the small ones, they work in so well in this. Awesome, actually. And it just works on top of your whatever cook stove you got. It's great. Speaking of cooking temperatures, the next thing is a meat thermometer. If you cook raw meat while you're camping, you need a meat thermometer. It's as easy as that. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Just like pick one of these up. It's got a backlit display, so you can use it in the dark. It's compact, so it stows easily. Features aside, I mean, this is a must for your camp kitchen set. Nobody wants to get a food-related illness while camping. So cook your meats properly. Get one of these. Let's talk about the Jetboil Flash. Here's a fun fact. I did not get my first Jetboil until just over a year ago when I picked up, man, that was actually a few years ago. I had the Bronco. When I picked up the geyser shower, which we'll talk about in a minute. However, since adding this to my kitchen box, I can see why everyone has one. Even as a non-coffee drinker, I use this almost every day at camp. It can be used for showers, hot chocolate, dishes, dehydrated meals, and more. I feel like I'm on QVC. In fact, I am. This is YouTube. This is basically QVC. So the heat indicator on the cover, the built-in igniter on this guy, all of it, just the way, I mean, just look how easy that packed. All of that is really just what makes a Jetboil worth it. And I feel like I'm late to the Jetboil, I don't know, fan club, and I regret not getting on the bandwagon earlier. I really like this thing, and I think you will too. If you don't have one, they're compact enough, they're easy enough to carry around. You might as well have one of these in your truck in case you need to boil water, even just for drinking. Nothing follows the Jetboil quite like Peak Refuel dehydrated meals. These have been making the rounds with every influencer lately, so I figured, hey, I'd give them a shot. As a former Boy Scout, I spend at least one weekend every month surviving on dehydrated meals, and I swore them off when I left Boy Scouts until I tried Peak Refuel. Thanks to Peak Refuel, those salty, diarrhea-inducing bags of dehydrated slop are no longer a thing. I was first converted with the biscuits and gravy. There are actual biscuits in the bag, not just like biscuit crouton chunks. Actual biscuits are in here. This is a simple one, but it still reduces the amount of garbage you carry around your campsite. It is a small utensil kit with everything from, I don't know, a straw to chopsticks, and then all the stuff, you know, that you will most frequently need. There's actually two straws. There's a bent straw and a straight straw, so there you go. But it's also got, yeah, everything else you need, fork, knife, spoon. So there you go. I tossed the link to a good one for the dehydrated meals as well. It's just a tall spoon, spork thing, because nobody likes their hand getting all goopy when they're eating out of those. But yeah, you need a utensil kit. These are some of my recent recent finds. Carrying cooking oil on camping trips has been challenging for as long as I can remember. Like many of you, I, for a long time, concluded that the oil bottle in a Ziploc bag was the best option because it was going to make a mess no matter what. That was until last winter when OXO dropped these leak-proof bottles, and I was skeptical. When I tossed this in my kitchen box, I thought, okay, everything's going to get destroyed, but I can clean it. But I'm happy to report that after a whole year and the spring season and summer and everything with these, there hasn't been even a drop of oil that escapes this thing. I have to say it is worth every single penny. It seals it in nice and good, nice and tight. And it comes in two sizes. Let's move those out of the camera. When OXO dropped the leak-proof bottles, they also dropped the new cutting board with an integrated tray. And I have struggled for a hot while to find a good cutting board in my camp kitchen. I prefer a composite material so it can be sterilized if I happen to be cooking anything raw like chicken or steak or any of that stuff. And then having a tray for scraps or, I don't know, using it as a mise en place. Like, this has proven very helpful when I'm cooking with limited tailgate space. I love this thing. It isn't normal for people to get excited about a cutting board, but look, we are gear people. It's what we do. And now you can get excited, like I am, about a cutting board with an integrated tray. I mean, come on. Makes you want to go camping, doesn't it? Just gonna put it back together here. There you go. Hang out right here, guy. this stack around my feet is getting quite large. Okay, time for an honorable mention. This is not on Amazon, which sucks because it seems to be exclusive to REI. It is the OXO 10-inch carbon steel frying pan. This is the entire reason I found all of the other OXO products that I've fallen in love with, like the leak-proof bottles, the cutting board, their dish cleaner, all that stuff. But anyways, it was this pan. For months, this pan was impossible to get. It still might be. It sells out all the time. The thing about carbon steel is it's kind of like cast iron, but with better nonstick, faster cool down, easier cleaning, and lighter weight in your box. Again, for some dumb reason, this is not on Amazon, but it is on REI. And at the time of my recording or making this video, they are in stock. So quickly, go get one. Like, find that link, click it, buy it, okay? You're gonna want it, okay? There you go. Okay, here we go. This has been the most significant change to my cooking setup in the last year, and if you adopt it, you will see why. But on my Patreon trip with my Patreon patrons last November, the annual trip that I call Thanks Landing, Robert, who is an incredible chef and one of my longtime Patreon patrons, introduced me to sous vide. The thing about sous vide is that it doesn't quite make sense. What you do is you take your meat and then you vacuum seal it into a food safe vacuum seal bag. You toss it into a vat of hot water, and the hot water cooks it evenly to the temperature that you want it to cook to. And then when that's done, you take the meat out of the vat of water, take it out of the Ziploc bag, and you can either sear it right there, and it's a perfectly cooked, delicious piece of meat, or you can re-vacuum seal it in a new bag and preserve it for later to sear when you need to sear it. So you can throw it into your camp fridge, throw it in your freezer, whatever. You can use it to meal prep. It is an incredible way to remove foodborne illnesses from your camping experience. There is no reason to cook raw meat when you're camping if you have sous vide. So it is a science, so I want to walk you through my setup. My dummy-proof sous vide setup that I use is the Breville Joule, because, like I was saying, sous vide is a science, and this unit, combined with its companion app, makes perfect meat of any variety as easy as a few taps on your phone. If you're using sous vide, the risk of foodborne illness dramatically decreases during camp cooking. Food stays longer in your fridge, cooks quicker, and honestly, tastes better. When you get to camp, you don't need to pull all of this stuff out. All you need is to pull out the meat from the vacuum sealed bag, preheat your OXO carbon steel that we just talked about, put some of those oils on it from those OXO bottles, lay the meat into it, and sear it. That's it. And as you sear, toss a cover on top so that it can reheat the meat, and Bob's your uncle. You now have restaurant level meat at camp. This has been honestly the single most important improvement to my kitchen setup that I have added in the last year, and it doesn't even come with me. So what you're gonna need is a tub to hold the water and then cook the meat. And let me add, you don't need to take any of this camping with you. You just leave it all at home. So that's why it's not even here in the garage with me. It's in the house because you just do all this prep before you leave. So planning to cook your meat at home will also conserve power and water, and you'll feel like a total boss for having so much forethought. So this is the tub that I picked up. It's a plastic hotel pan with an insulator and an adjustable metal rack so it can hold your meat bags. And then the sous vide wand clips to this with an insulator on top. You don't need to worry about any of the hot water damaging your countertops or anything like that because this tub will protect it. Next, you will need a vacuum sealer and a sous vide safe vacuum bag collection, various sizes. Some folks use Ziploc bags, but I have seen a few reports on the problems that can arise from those, so I made sure to invest in the vacuum sealer and proper bags. Side recommendation, if you are getting into this, join the sous vide subreddit on Reddit. It has taught me so much about what you can sous vide. Some of the people on there, they cook amazing things all in water. It's bonkers. So all in, sous vide is a very serious investment. I think I spent close to $400 getting it to the point that it is for me, but it is one of the rare Overland tools that you will use at home all the time. It may be sacrilegious in the dead of summer to say this. I guess it's more like fall now, it's October, but I haven't even turned on my grill once this year since adding sous vide to my kitchen. It's something else to be able to sous vide meat pan sear it, add butter, pepper, and it's perfect. I love this cooking method, and I think you will too, especially for camp meal prep. Did that sound too passionate? It probably was. I really do like sous vide, but that is the end of our kitchen. Time to get into hygiene. Camping is a messy business, and that's why we love it, honestly. One thing that can be overwhelming, however, is a shower. Wipes have become a crowd favorite because of how simple they are, while complicated systems like the Juka are avoided due to the need for fuel, extensive water supply, not to mention a power source, a cable, hose management, all that stuff. The geyser shower is, I'd say, the middle ground between wipes and a full shower. It's a water pump system that pumps through a sponge instead of a shower head to give you a sponge bath using less than a gallon of water in the process. And I have taken what I think is a very fulfilling shower with just the water carried in this tank. I've never had to double up. There are two variations to the shower, one with a built-in heater, which is this orange one, and then one without. I went for the heater because I like the idea of having the option should my jet boil not be working or I run out of fuel for that, whatever it is. The other option has no heater and will require you to heat your water using your own method. But be warned though that any water over 100 degrees will disable the pump until the water cools down, and that's for both units. So I'll be honest, I keep switching between this shower and the Juka, which is a much more complicated system, but I keep finding myself back at the geyser simply because of its water conservation and simple setup. I do like it. Oh, and its price. This is, you just buy this, you're done. You don't have to carry fuel, that's it. You don't have propane, it's just easier. So you just had a shower and you need to reach for a towel. Is it that ratty one from your college dorm that you haven't mentally been able to throw away? Well, good news, toss it out because I have your replacement. Nomadix towels. These have won over my heart. I've been hunting for what I would say is the right towel for camp showers, hot spring dips, beach days, whatever else gets you moist. It's lightweight, it's compact, and the best part is it will actually dry you off. I am not sure what more I can say about a towel. It does the job, and it must, because that's why I put it in this video. Okay, for the last few years, my #1 Amazon affiliate sale was that waxed canvas wood bag that I love and we talked about earlier. Well, in the last 6 months, this packable toilet surpassed it. Well, kind of, until I talked about that $26 Milwaukee tool. But now the toilet is #2, and I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere. I'm not going to waste my time on it. Meet the Clean Waste Toilet. This simple toilet is the perfect business partner when nature calls. It sits high like the toilet you have at home. It has a nice long toilet seat shape like the toilet at home. And it packs into an easy to store shape, unlike the toilet from home. But that's why you're taking this one camping and you're leaving your throne from your master bathroom suite at home. Another nice thing I like about it is that it actually cleans easily. Just open it up when you get home, hit it with some scrubbing bubbles, and then hit it with the hose. Another great thing about Clean Waste is it is great if you are camping in wilderness areas that require you to pack out human waste. These areas are way more common than you may think, and if you don't need to pack it out, you can just, dig a hole under it and leave your deposit. Now, I know some of you are squatters. That's cool. You do you. I have been backpacking most of my life, so I get it. I picked this one up for my wife when we were doing a trip anyways, and it was really just to help her feel more comfortable on the trip and to agree to go with me. And that trip converted me to this toilet. Now I always camp with it. Next is my toilet paper holder. Where is that? Must be in the truck. Anyways, while we're on the topic of calls to nature, let's discuss paperwork. If overlanding has taught me anything, it is that there is a piece of gear for a problem that barely exists, and this toilet paper bag, is that the right word for it? Yeah, toilet paper bag is that piece of gear. Flat toilet paper rolls are still functional, but round ones make the experience easier. It is as simple as that. I don't know. This toilet paper holder has a metal rod inside to keep the paper rolling for as long as you need it. It has a clip so you can hang it from the handle of your shovel or a tree or whatever. And it has a reflective opening so you can find it when nature taps that hotline bling for midnight booty wiping. You do not need this, but if you got those gearaholic butterflies when you saw it just now, you're my kind of person. All right, that does it for hygiene. Let's jump into comfort, the final chapter of the video. A lot of the gear that I tend to carry these days is what I would say is the right gear, and that's just because it is designed specifically for vehicle-based adventure. Pillows are pillows. You can sleep with one from your bed while you're out camping. It will work just fine. The difference between that pillow and this pillow, however, is that this pillow is designed to be out there. This is the Hest pillow, and it is the right pillow for what we do. Does that mean it is the only pillow for what we do? No, but it is designed with an outer shell that fights off dust and crud, and it's just, well, it's easy to pack away. When opened, it is nearly a full-size pillow. Just gonna open it here. And it is, I would say, as comfortable as anything I have slept on. As I have matured, I have put more focus into the sleep I get while I'm out on the trails. High-stress situations can creep out of nowhere when you're traversing the unknown, and being well-rested puts your head in the right space to make critical decisions. Get that head in the right space. So, do you need this pillow or most of the stuff I've even talked about today? Probably not. Go ahead, sleep on a rolled-up hoodie. That works too. But will you be more comfortable with this pillow and likely have better sleep because of it? Yup, you will. Just gonna stuff that away real quick. Come on. Stuff away. Stuff away. I talk about electric blankets all the time on this channel. And most of the time, I'm discussing them as a hack for staying warm while sleeping in a rooftop tent or a camper. The hack is to sleep on top of your electric blanket instead of under it. And honestly, I still use this hack, but we may not need it anymore. Last year, I reviewed the Zonely heated blanket, and on the day that I released that video, Ignik released this heated blanket. So I had to try it, and I bought it. And I can honestly say that it is comparable to the Zonely, other than Ignik. They're based here in the States, and they're really easy to talk to. So if you bought the Zonely, don't worry, you bought a good blanket. But if you're shopping for an electric blanket, the Ignik is great. That said, I think it may have been a mistake that I bought the Ignik heated blanket instead of what they also released on that day and I missed, which was a heated sleeping pad. Now, because I have this and I'm still okay doing the little hack sleeping on top of it, I haven't sprung for the sleeping pad just yet, but I likely will when phase 2 of the Gladiator build is a little more underway. So if you are buying an electric blanket for the hack to sleep on it, don't. Get the Ignik sleeping pad instead. Okay. All right, let's talk about diesel heaters. This one is fun because, well, I don't have it. But I want it to be on the list because of a video I made late last year or earlier this year, in which I spent 2 days building a diesel heater. It costs like well over $500, and it does exactly what this one on Amazon does. This is the H-Calorie all-in-one heater box. My buddy Casey of Casey250 turned me onto it. He reviewed it around the time that I was building mine, and it made me realize the mistake I was making building the one I built. This diesel heater in a box is the one I would get if I were starting over, honestly. It contains the fuel inside of it to prevent spills. It works with Bluetooth on an app just like the one I was using, and it's easy to pack because of the box. Well, it has a simple shape. Do I regret building the one I did? Yes. Should I have purchased this one? Yes. We're getting into diesel heater season, just buy this one. Learn from my mistake. If a diesel heater is on your gear list, this is it. It's your one and done, call it a day system. Okay. Now, front runner chairs. I debated leaving these chairs out of this video because I talk about them so much. Then, while I was actually compiling this list of gear to talk about, I got a DM on Instagram asking me specifically what chairs I like. And so here we are. Meet the Front Runner Outfitters Expander Chair. These aren't lounge chairs like my other favorite chairs are from Rome Adventure Co., but these Front Runner ones fit the most needs, from table height eating to remote working and even packable size. I still am not sold on the idea of one perfect camp chair, but I can say that these are the chairs I have used the longest because nothing else has beat them for utility. But as an honorable mention, I also carry the Roam chair now. So I guess I'm that guy who brings 2 sets of chairs, which makes me pretty cool, right? We kicked this video off talking about one of my favorite Peak Design products, the locking ball mount here. So closing it out with one, well, it seems fitting as well. Meet the 35-liter duffel bag. For years, I've been using the 65-liter for my week-long trips, which it is perfect for, I'd say, anything more than 3 days. But anything shorter than that, like a weekend trip, it's a lot to carry. And I really wasn't vibing on it for those shorter weekend trips. That's when I picked this one up. Paired with the Peak Design packing cubes and littered with pockets, this has been the most convenient off-road dresser that I could ask for. If you're still using your old hiking backpack or gym bag as your clothing tote, stop. This is what you've been waiting for. It is, well, it's nearly everything that I have wanted it to be, and like everything on this list, it's available on Amazon. Whew. Okay. We did it. That was a huge list to cover. Thank you for sticking around until the end. And if something on this list fell into your shopping cart, sincerely thank you. Using the links to these items helps me continue to make videos, and your support is more appreciated than ever. Sometimes my job is work, and selling for commission is one of those things that I have to do. Isn't it weird how people can get whiny about creators trying to make a living off of their work? As if people leaving those comments don't collect a paycheck for the work they do. I've always thought that that was a backward thing to comment on. My job is still a job, and gear videos like this one are some of the best ways to help support my family and future adventure videos. So if you don't like it, I guess whatever, that's okay. We have a fresh adventure video coming this Friday that was paid for by commissions. So I'll see you then. All right, that does it for me. If you like this video, please like this video. If you have a question, leave me a comment. And if you want to hang out again, we'll make sure to subscribe. Until next time, I'm Justin B. McBride.